Hi there, welcome to I Lone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aries energy. We'll get these cards out, maybe get some clarifiers to fill out the story of what might be going on in Aries energy. And since it's not a personal reading and I don't know you and your life, I'm going to tell you the different stories I see in here. I'm going to read it from the perspective of how people who harness high vibe Aries energy, how they would be handling this energy right now, and how people who are in shadowy Aries energy would handle this energy. And you might find that if you're dealing with an Aries sun sign, that you're the one harnessing high vibe Aries energy and they're the ones in low vibe Aries energy. Or you're the high vibe Aries and you see in the story that some people you know in your life are the people who are in shadowy Aries energy. You know, we tend to reject outside of us what we reject within ourselves. So people who are in low vibe Aries energy will reject people in high vibe Aries energy. And you also probably wouldn't want to hang around a low vibe Aries energy. People who are in high vibe Aries energy are people who are bold and brave and confident. They're willing to bring down old foundations and ways of thinking and believing and perceiving of themselves to keep moving forward in their life. They keep wanting to learn and grow and mature themselves. They're operating from a foundation of love and respect for themselves and their dreams and respect for the people that are closest to them that they have loving connections with. And people in shadowy Aries energy, they're more interested in making decisions that are just best for them. They could be selfish, greedy, immature, materialistic, have addictions, you know. I don't know why exactly. The best I can figure is that they, maybe got hurt at some time in their past and it kicked them up into their pride and ego. And ever since then, they've decided to be emotionally defensive, to being open and honest and authentic. So they just create an illusion when they get in relationships, create the illusion that they're loving and stable and kind, but eventually you end up finding out that maybe they're more fearful, insecure, and emotionally defensive or greedy or selfish. So the reason for the reading is the Aries Fool card. High vibe people trust the universe and they believe in themselves and believe in their dreams, and they don't let toxic, low vibe emotions or thoughts or events in the world or people in the world keep them from believing in their dreams, and they're willing to trust the universe and listen to their intuition to move forward. And people in shadowy Aries energy don't feel that way about themselves, and they maybe take foolish risks in relationship because if you're in a relationship and you're not being open and honest and loving in a relationship, you are most likely trying to emotionally manipulate people to get the scales to tip in your favor so you can keep being selfish or greedy or manipulative, and you're hoping other people will indulge you being that way. Here we have the King of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, Taurus, Hierophant energy, Capricorn, Devil card, the Ace of Pentacles, the Sun, the Nine of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Well, right away I see the shadowy story. Some people who definitely live more from their mind than their heart. It doesn't matter what zodiac sign, we can all get kicked up into fear or insecurity, and we're making decisions that seem logical and practical that we won't get hurt, even though we might be making a foolish mistake. So some of you could be dealing with a Libra, but not necessarily. But someone who thinks it's just and fair to maybe offer their resources that they have in the world, if that's hugs and kisses, money, materialism, status, image, drugs, rock and roll, sex, whatever. They think it's just and fair for them to offer their resources that they have in the world to people who might be sad at the moment. The Four of Cups can be, people who aren't moving forward with someone right now because they're still focused on a relationship of the past that hasn't worked out. And so the people who think it's just and fair to take a risk to go get in a relationship with people like that, the whole thing is we could all do that, but this person's intentions, if they're in shadowy Aries energy, it's not based on love. That's not why they're getting in the relationship. These people are making them an offer to maybe have a new beginning with them because they feel left out in the cold themselves. or they feel in lack. Maybe they don't feel they have enough money. And they could be someone in the Nine of Swords who's really stressed about their image or their status, because the Taurus Hierophant can be about people wanting people to look up to them and admire them. And Taurus is earth sign energy, and it's about, in a general sense, it's about people putting in hard work and effort to be surrounded by luxury in life. And if you aren't doing that from a foundation of love, you're doing it from more of a foundation of pride, ego, selfishness, greed, materialism. And this person could really want to be a king of pentacles, a king of the world, male or female. They want the king of pentacles. The kings in tarot talk about how we like present ourselves to the world, how we take action in the world and present ourselves. And this person, male or female, wants to present themselves and be viewed in the world as someone who is very stable and abundant. And with the Taurus right there, is someone who's surrounded by luxury in life. And they could be someone who's very consumed with those things. They're enslaved to those things. Their image and their status and being viewed as a certain way in the world is really important to them. And so those people are going to take a risk. They're not trusting the universe. They're not believing in themselves. They don't believe that they can attain this themselves. So they're going to take a risk to get in a relationship with someone that they think they can move forward in a relationship with. Maybe someone who also does have money and materialism, but they might be kind of stressed because the person they might be getting in a relationship with, they know has some toxic characteristics about them also. They could be selfish, greedy, manipulative, bossy, controlling, prideful, egotistical, stubborn, clingy, codependent, insecure. The devil can mean a lot of things. The devil card and the King of Pentacles are Capricorn energy, so there could be a Libra who maybe could have tried to have a new beginning, maybe with a Cancer, because Four of Cups is Cancer energy. But it could have been illuminated that this person is still someone who kind of hasn't dealt with the fact that they have maybe this lack mentality and they only operate like with half their foundation. We've all got this dualistic nature. And if we work together with both of these natures within ourselves, we tap into our emotions and our creativity and our imagination and hope and faith and belief in ourselves, then we can offset our more base nature, our more worldly nature. The Five of Pentacles is Taurus energy also. And again, we're born into this world. We do grow up feeling that, we definitely have to pay attention to those things. We all want stability and security and a roof over our head. But some people just really don't connect in with their creative, imaginative, hopeful, believing nature within themselves. They think the only thing there is to work with is the things of the world. Maybe they lack belief in any higher power, or don't just believe in themselves, And if they did make an offer to someone else who might be someone more connected in with their emotions, who just maybe right now isn't moving forward with anyone, it could have been illuminated that this person is still someone who really lives from their mind. And so because of that, this person is going to move forward to either get in a relationship with someone else, or they're just going to focus on putting work and effort into building up their own financial status, because they are someone who's unwilling to take a risk to, be willing to, they're basically going to keep doing things the way they've always done it. And for some of them, they might go get in a relationship with someone else who already has money and materialism, because if they feel like they don't have enough, and believe me, there's people who have plenty, but for some people, enough is never enough. Enough is never enough. You know, if they're so consumed by it, so like fearful and afraid of like stability and security, the sad thing is this person, we would say people either see the truth or they live in illusion. The things of the world can be taken away like that. If we, if our whole sense of worth and value in the world is based on how other people in the world perceive us, yeah, if our wealth or status or something gets taken away, that can be really devastating for people. It's devastating for anybody, but the people who've put in the work and effort to free themselves from making their life about image and status and money and materialism, and they've high vibe Capricorn energy is about putting in the hard work and effort to free yourself from those things. And for some people, they could be doing that too. If they learn their lesson that, high vibe people who are loving, who stand in their truth, some of you could be the ones harnessing high vibe Libra energy right now. You're standing in your truth and power. People in your life who ignore love because relationships in the past didn't work out for them. So it makes them be defensive. And you could be trying to offer, encouragement and support to people who are defensive. You're trying to shed light, kind of like life-giving energy, because the sun is like life-giving energy. And by you standing in your truth and you being in life-giving energy, meaning you don't align with fearful, insecure, petty, jealous, envious, greedy ways. You just don't invest your emotions and your thoughts into those ways of thinking, because those aren't conducive to you. They're like low vibrational emotions and thoughts to sit in. They're not conducive to moving forward. You try to keep your mind on those things that are positive and encouraging. We've all got free will. We can be pessimistic, jealous, envy, petty, or we can, not invest in that and say, that doesn't get me anywhere. I choose to believe in myself. I choose to have hope and faith and belief in myself. I choose to believe that if I can think I can bring my dreams into reality, maybe being selfish and greedy and prideful and focusing on money and materialism, yeah, I might make a lot of money and materialism. How much more abundance could I have in my life if every day I choose to create heaven on earth? Why sit in hell emotionally and thought wise when I can choose to go through my same day being optimistic and hopeful and believing in myself? At least I've enjoyed my day better. you know the day's going to go by, the week's going to go by, the month's going to go by, the years are going to go by. How do I choose to live my life? I choose to be happy. I choose to be grateful and enjoy the things I do have in my life. I don't choose to feel in lack or left out in the cold. I might not have as much as everybody else, and that's okay. I'm not competing with anyone. My biggest competition is my own mind. Because if we do get into our shadow nature, it ends up being all about self pity, blaming other people, trying to solve our problem without us doing the work within ourselves. And we look outside of ourselves for a solution to our problem, and the solution lies within ourselves. We are the ones who have to put in the hard work and effort to free ourselves from our prideful, competitive, egotistical, self-pity, whatever nature, to have some hope and faith and belief in ourselves and in the divine, that the divine has a plan for our life. Maybe some people don't, like I say, don't believe in a higher power. You can choose to believe what you want. You high vibe people could have known someone who ignored your love because they wanted to go have a new beginning with someone else. And so instead of getting stuck maybe in the same negative energy they're in, or selfish, greedy, prideful, egotistical energy, You decided, I'm going to take that cup of love from the universe. I have learned my lesson from this life experience. And, why would anybody get in a relationship with someone where it causes them a lot of stress and anxiety, and maybe being in a relationship with someone who's unhealthy or toxic or manipulative, or just creates the illusion of loving you, but that's not why the reason why they're in the relationship with you. Maybe in it for ego reasons, competitive reasons, selfish, greedy reasons. And maybe this person wouldn't be in a relationship with you for love. Who wants to live their life that way? We got one life journey here this go around. Life's worth, life's about living. And so, because of that situation maybe happening, and for some of you, it could be happening right now, that someone is deciding, I'm going to go have a new beginning more based on pride and ego in the Leo Sun energy. I'm going to ignore love because I feel like I'm maybe lacking financially, or because I don't want to connect in with love and hope and faith and belief, and the loving people in my life would want me to do that, and I reject doing that because I could get hurt doing that. I'm going to do what's logical and practical. I'm going to have a new beginning based on pride and ego. I'm going to detach from people in my life who are just and fair and truthful and honest and loving, who have learned lessons in life, who are willing to be bold and brave and confident. No, I reject that. I'm not that. I want to conform to the world. I want to focus on money and materialism. It's something that I'm really stressed out about, those things. And if that means I'm going to go have a new beginning with someone else who might already have those things, then that's what I'm going to do. And so, because of that, you other people had to decide, am I going to get in sad, depressed, poor, pitiful me energy, or am I going to still believe in my dreams? And you decided, I'm going to still believe in my dreams. And you stayed in life-giving energy. Basically, the sun would talk about that we have the free will choice every day to choose to be in the energy of love and hope and faith. And we offer ourselves the love, the compassion, the kindness, the encouragement that you might have wished this person in your past would have offered you, but they didn't. And they decided to move forward in a different relationship because they're maybe more focused on money and materialism. Maybe they have a lot of fears and insecurities about believing if they can even nurture other people, maybe because they have a lot of fears and insecurities within themselves. So instead of putting in the work and effort to work through their own fears and insecurities so they could invest and nurture other people in a relationship or a marriage or children, they decided, they kind of gave in to their more fearful nature, their more insecure nature, and just decided, I'm going to focus on money and materialism. Even if I left loving people behind, the world will still kind of like give me their little stamp of, you're successful because you have money and materialism and status and image, regardless of the fact that you might have been emotionally cold and ignored love from people that were trying to offer them love and resources and encouragement and support. We can only offer the environment for people to do the inner work within themselves. And if they choose not to use that loving, warm, truthful, honest environment to do their own inner work, some people never want to self-reflect. Some people never want to look at themselves in the mirror. They prefer to be defensive and be emotionally detached and ignore love and operate more from pride and ego. And they prefer to be in relationships with people maybe who are more about money and image and status and materialism as the driving factor for the relationship. That it's not based on love. It's about creating an illusion so people view you as someone to be looked up to and admired by, because you have these worldly things that, but that's the thing, that's the illusion about the world. People can be looked up to and admired, and they're not a very nurturing, loving, giving person. They can be emotionally cold and detached. They're prideful and egotistical. They only operate with their worldly, beastly nature instead of love and being just and fair and loyal and committed and dedicated. It's more about them. So, you high vibe people are connecting in and having hope and faith and belief, and you are taking the lesson that you've learned to no longer cling to this old foundation, because the Five of Pentacles has learned a lesson of the Four of Pentacles. So you were holding on to a relationship or a friendship group or a work group or a family dynamic or whatever it was, and the universe told you to learn the lesson you're meant to learn. Do not be an illusion about this person, because again, we either see the truth and align with truth, or we're deluding ourselves. We're living in illusion. We're living in fantasy land. We want to be in denial of the truth. And the divine is saying, learn the lesson you're meant to learn. If you are dealing with someone who thinks it's just and fair to live more from their mind and their heart, to be emotionally detached, maybe emotionally cold, to take foolish risks, in shadowy kind of Aries energy, that would be someone who could be bossy, controlling. King of Swords in a shadowy energy, male or female. It can be someone who, it's their way or the highway. They make the rules. They're the boss. They're the justice system. There is no higher truth, order, or justice to life other than what they think it is. And again, they might think that the only thing that makes sense is to focus on things of the world, because to think that there's anything else they might think is ridiculous. Which is kind of funny, because we have this dualistic nature within us. And our emotions, our creativity, our imagination, we didn't go buy any of those things at the store. Those are things that were uniquely given to us by the divine. And we're meant to use those things to not operate from our more base, beastly human nature, to aspire to knowing that we can be more, that we can create all these things into being if we're willing to listen to those unique talents, skills, and interests that the divine gave us that are different than what they gave other people. Thank goodness some people were willing to do that, or we'd still be living in the Stone Age. But I'm glad that we have light bulbs and indoor plumbing and airplanes and, all the things that we've done in the world. Those are things that people who listen to their intuition to guide them and their unique things that they were inspired by. They use those things because they were given them for a purpose. And this person that you were dealing with could be someone who's like, no, I reject listening to that. I need to work with the world. I want to look very successful in the world. And they think the only way to get that success and victory in life is to work with the things of the world. And it might all be about people looking up to them and admiring them, and they don't think that, I don't know, maybe they don't think those things would come into reality if they did listen to their intuition, if they were with the people in their life who they love and they're inspired by. It's like, no, I need to conform to the world. I need to, really be focused on the world with the Devil card. Or, the Devil can talk about toxic energy, that they're like addicted to it. Some people, they're addicted to greed. They're addicted to their prideful, egotistical nature. They're addicted to having a certain image and status. Those things drive their life. So you learned your lesson and you detached from an old foundation. It could have caused you a lot of stress, but in high vibe Taurus energy, you started to walk the talk. Taurus, being earth sign energy, means you started to put into practice in your 3D world the things that you believe about yourself and the world and what can be. And you started to put work and effort into taking stable and abundant and grounded practical action in your life to have a very stable foundation within yourself And your foundation that you're building your stability upon is love and hope and faith and belief in yourself. And you are putting in the hard work and effort right now to free yourself from anything that tries to enslave you. If that's your own fear, your own insecurities, your own self-limiting beliefs, to trust the universe and take a leap of faith. Let's go get a few clarifiers since we're at 25 minutes. And some of you, because someone in your past maybe ignored your love when you were trying and made an offer to have a new beginning with them, and this person rejected your love. Some of you, as you're moving forward and giving a lot of thought and effort to putting in the work and effort and taking stable, grounded, abundant action in your life, there might be someone. Be careful if someone wants to come take a risk to get in a relationship with you, and listen to your intuition to find out what type of Capricorn energy, regardless of their sun sign, what type of Capricorn energy this person carries. Are they someone who wants to come get in a relationship with you because of their pride, their ego, their codependency, their selfishness, their lust, their greed, their whatever, wanting to be indulged in a relationship? Or are they people who have freed themselves also from their past, from their fears, from their insecurities? Are they someone who walks the talk? Someone who puts hard work and effort to be grown and matured, who's learned lessons in life, so therefore they can grow and nurture and mature, like relationships and work projects and children and the world, basically, because they've learned lessons in their life. And people who have loved themselves and done the hard work and effort to learn their lessons, those are people who can help other people learn and grow because they've done it within themselves. Are they someone who trusts the universe, or are they someone kind of driven by their fiery nature, whatever it could be, lust, greed, selfishness, indulgence? Let's go see the people who were in shadowy Libra energy in the past. What were they thinking? We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the reason is because of the Page of Wands, Temperance card. Maybe in this person's past, a Queen of Pentacles, maybe a Taurus, could have been a marriage partner, someone who they thought would be a marriage partner, someone who was stable and abundant. It could have even been a mother figure. But the Queen of Pentacles, again, it doesn't have to be a female. The queens in tarot talk about our emotional state. So there could have been someone in their life, in their past, who they thought would emotionally invest in them and nurture them, but that person walked away. And I don't know, maybe when this person was a child with the Page of Wands, maybe this person had wanted to take creative, inspired action, had hope and faith and belief in the relationship, and wanted to balance things out with that person in Temperance Sagittarius energy. But if the other person wasn't willing to work together with them and walked away from them, that could have been what kicked them up more into their pride and ego. And they felt their love was ignored. And so for some of them, instead of learning their lesson, that it's about shedding light and love and giving yourself that love and compassion and encouragement and support, all the things that you wish those people in your past would have given you. We can feel in lack, we can feel rejected, we can feel abandoned, but the whole thing is, people can kick us to the curb, people can throw us under the bus, people can slander us, people can do all sorts of awful things to us. We don't control them. If we did, we would have made them loving and kind and nurturing. And if people didn't, we have to accept that people walk away for their own reasons. Maybe some people realize just that this wasn't the right relationship for them, and we have to accept the truth of that. Maybe some people are selfish and greedy and prideful or mean. But We have to learn to give ourselves and nurture ourselves and wrap our brain around it that, it is what it is. And to learn that there's a lesson to be learned in it. And the lesson to be learned is that we're supposed to learn to be our own kind of like best mother, father, coach voice in our head. Because if we don't, we're always codependent on someone outside of us doing that for us. And we're meant to learn that we are the one who needs to put in the work and effort so that we don't stay feeling rejected or kicked to the curb or thrown under the bus or rejected or abandoned. We can give ourselves those things. It's a free will choice to choose to, that if no one else in the world chooses to encourage me every day and believe in me every day and be kind to me and patient with me and forgiving with me and gentle with me, by golly, I'm going to do it to myself. And when we offer ourselves those things, we connect in with that other nature within ourselves to tap into our own emotional resources, to nurture our own worldly nature. That's when we've learned the lesson and we can move forward. And then because we offer ourselves those things, love and respect and kindness, we can offer those to other people. And if other people reciprocate it, great, we work together with them. If they don't, we wish them peace and we move on. But some people could have felt rejected and abandoned or left out in the cold or kicked to the curb, and they basically stayed there. And we learn to nurture ourselves. People can do all those things and we just pick ourselves up. It's like kind of like the universe and divine doesn't let, people in the world can do whatever they want. And the divine's like, yeah, I can work with that. The divine doesn't let what people in the world stop them from what they want to manifest. And we have to be the same way. I'm not going to let people who didn't love me and they love someone else. Okay, I got to accept the truth of that. Or they're unkind or unloving or selfish or greedy or manipulative. I have to accept that they just are where they're at. But that doesn't have to say anything about my worth and value. I'm going to pick myself up from being thrown under the bus or kicked to the curb or slandered or treated rudely. And I'm going to keep moving forward. And I'm going to give a lot of thought to having the relationships, because Taurus Hierophant is about our relationships, our marriages, our commitments, our work, our jobs, how we view our life. And we're going to be very stable and abundant. Not going to let someone from our past who, whatever the reason is that they walked away, I'm not going to let that stop me from having my dreams come into reality. I'm not going to let the devil stop me from believing in my dreams. I'm not going to let other people who might be in shadowy energy. So maybe the person who walked away was someone who was selfish or greedy or materialistic or whatever. But this person could have always felt like they missed an opportunity with this person. But what they don't realize is that, and they could have always wanted to have a new beginning with that person, but the reason they might want to is kind of like being in our pride and ego. I am determined to make someone like you who's selfish or greedy or manipulative or prideful or egotistical or whatever, I'm going to make you choose me. Kind of like as if that would validate their worth and value. Good luck trying to get somebody who's toxic to change their ways and love you. Everybody's got free will, and people are the reason they are the way they are because they free willingly have chosen to be that way up to this point. They could be someone who's foolish, selfish, greedy, materialistic, whatever. But if this person never healed from that, this person still feels, they haven't learned to nurture themselves, bring themselves in from out in the cold. And because maybe someone walked away from them before or treated them maybe even atrociously for some people, which I would really apologize for if somebody treated you atrociously, but we still have to let the divine shed light and love on us. It's a free will choice every day to be in that energy and say, I choose to free willingly take the love that I believe the divine wants me to be within every day, and I refuse to let people who are selfish or ugly or atrocious get me caught up in that negative energy. So now I'm another person in the world who's spreading negative energy. I don't want to align with that. But sadly, for the people who kind of did get kicked up into their mind and their pride or their ego or their fears and insecurities, those people either are deciding, I'm just going to focus on money and materialism from now on, or I am determined to try to make people like that love me. Tell us about the people who are in want somebody who's kind of toxic and selfish and greedy to love them. Who tell us about that person they want to have love them. And it doesn't have to be that same person. It's just like, people grow up in certain circumstances, right? Say you grow up in a home that's emotionally manipulative and passive aggressive. If you get in a relationship with loving, healthy people, you're kind of always weary and leery because it's like, are you trying to emotionally manipulate me? And they're so used to being in that environment and they know how to work within that environment and how to strategize, or if they're used to being around people who are addictive, who fly off the handle, who get really angry, or people who are abusive, they know how to, they're kind of like, it's kind of like a comfort zone in a way. They know how to deal with that. And when they get in relationships with people who are honest and open and loving and, warm, it's just like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't really know how to deal with this environment, And until they realize that they do deserve that type of relationship dynamic and they kind of get over their fears and insecurities of maybe even believing that someone could love them because so many people have been abusive to them, and neglectful or manipulative or whatever, until this person kind of repeats the patterns enough time where they finally say, oh my gosh, I deserve so much better than this. I am not doing this anymore. That's when someone takes a risk to stand in their truth and power and say, I'm done with that. I am no longer going to reject loving people in my life. I am going to invest in believing in myself, because the Sun card can talk about, I'm going to be authentically myself. I love myself. Damn it. If nobody else is going to treat me with love and respect, I'm going to. And that's when people detach from their old ways of being. And then they might be stressed because some people that they previously could have been in a relationship with, or even a marriage partner to, they had been selfish and toxic and greedy and rejecting love. And now they might want to take a risk to go get and communicate with those people again. But they're kind of fearful of communicating with them because they know that they rejected love, pushed people away. The person that people who are still in shadowy energy might want to align with is Seven of Cups, Justice card, Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Wands, because of the Nine of Wands. People who present themselves as being just and fair, but it's an illusion. It's basically people presenting themselves one way, but it's just a mask. It's just a facade. Again, where people can tell you, oh, well, yeah, again, being abusive, being emotionally manipulative, being prideful, being egotistical. And, they create the illusion that they're just and fair, but it's just an illusion. But they create the illusion that they're willing to move forward and take creative, inspired action with you, but they're actually someone who's defensive and guarded to taking a leap of faith. So there's someone operating from shadow energy and they're going to be kind of all those emotionally defensive, maybe toxic, selfish ways of being. They are emotionally manipulating people, trying to get them to be like a relationship partner with them or invest in them. And this person has illusions about those type of people still. It's just like if you were young or you knew people when you're young that they kind of kept going out with the same type of people, and all the friends and family were saying, oh my gosh, why do you keep going out with people like that? You deserve so much better. But you can have illusions of seeing who that person can become. But the truth is, we need to see through the illusion. If people are immature, reckless, causing all sorts of chaos in their life, disrespectful, abusive, alcoholic, or whatever. You know how it is, like when you're young, when people can be really reckless, but you keep thinking, oh no, I could see them being when they're more mature, and eventually you get really tired of it. And you can talk to your blue in the face towards people who keep getting in relationships like that, and it takes until they say, oh my gosh, I have to quit having illusions about people. If people show me they're immature, they're disrespectful, they're selfish, they're greedy, they're all about indulging themselves in whatever the hell it is that they indulge themselves in, I've got to face the truth and quit believing in this future date that this person will be someone who's just and fair in a relationship. If they are not balanced and respectful and loving and all those good things in a relationship, we got to see through our illusion. But the people that are in shadowy energy aren't seeing things clearly. They still have illusions about people in their life, about the world, about what's important. And so they have illusions about these people. Some of them are dealing with the Libra, and they think they still have illusions about that person. They still think this person, that if they were to be a marriage partner to them, that things will change. That this person will go with the flow and be willing to move forward in their life and take creative, inspired action. And the truth is, this person is defensive and maybe plays the wounded warrior and, oh, I'm defensive, and. But the people who are in shadow still have illusions. For one, if it's not another person, they think focusing on the world is going to bring them the justice that they seek. That the wheel of fortune will turn in their favor and that they'll be able to move forward in a successful way, being defensive still, and being defensive to love, being defensive to people who are loving, because they don't want to get hurt. So they want to make their life more about living more from their mind and focusing on money and materialism. So until they realize that, basically this pattern for them is one of the patterns that's going to keep repeating in their life. That they make offers to other people. If they might make their offers to people, if they're kind of in shadowy energy, they kind of want to be someone who creates the illusion that they're just and fair, that things will move forward. But really, in their shadowy energy, they are defensive. They just create the illusion that they'll be just and fair. So this person right now might make an offer to someone, who knows who, just someone in the world who right now might feel like, got out of a relationship or something, or a friendship group or a job or whatever the situation is, who right now might feel like they've missed an opportunity in love. And they're going to make an offer to this person to have a new beginning. And they're going to move forward, maybe in a relationship. And this person who's in shadowy energy is going to be really stressed out, because if they get in a relationship with this person is going to want them to be the person that they created the illusion that they are. That they're stable and grounded and loving and nurturing and all those things. And really, they're not. For an example, what is the truth about some of these people who are in shadowy energy? They're all about money, materialism, secretly. But they hide that. It's all about their own foundation. Ten of Pentacles is really unbudging, unmoving. So for one, their foundation is not willing to learn or mature themselves. Their foundation is kind of toxic and immature. and get in relationships to kind of indulge themselves in it for pride, ego, sex, lust, greed, whatever. And they are unbudging. And they'd really like to get in a relationship with someone who maybe already has money and materialism, because they might, well, even if this person, if they make an offer to someone who maybe has Five of Pentacles, if they also have Five of Pentacles and they get in a relationship or get married, together they'd have Ten of Pentacles. And that is the reason this person wants to get in this relationship. Is either for stability, security, money, status, image. It's not based on love. This person is very consumed with image and status and money and materialism. And like I say, some of them could make an offer to someone, but if that person is listening to their intuition and they could know that this person is someone who's maybe making an offer to them because this person is, maybe because they detach from some other foundation and they're stressed and anxious about someone else, or stressed and worried about image and status and money and materialism. If this person is in high vibe energy, this person, if it's someone they know, this person could illuminate, no, I already know you're someone who takes foolish risks in relationships. Otherwise, if they just take time to get to know them, to kind of illuminate the foundation of this person, if they see that this person is kind of in the shadowy energy, the high vibe people are going to move away. And they might have some stress, anxiety, because they thought when this person initially approached them that maybe it would work out and it'd be a new beginning, but they are not someone who is willing to get in a relationship with people just for pride or ego or image or status or materialism. They have given a lot of thought to what they think about love, and those people keep believing in their dreams, and they are going to keep putting in the work and effort to keep trusting in the universe. If this person does make an offer to someone who kind of rejects them, then this person, secondly, might go, well, they might just be really stressed because they wanted this, but for others, they might move forward towards someone else to get in a relationship, even though they know that person. Why is this person stressed? For the people that are in shadowy energy, why are they stressed? Because the King of Swords is wanting them to move forward. And you could look at the King of Swords as like, their mind is telling them, you need to do this, you need to go do that. Our mind can end up becoming like our own prison guard in our head. If we're not aligned with love and we have this very critical inner voice that is berating us about our image and our status and our money and materialism, and we don't offset our more icky voices in our head, for one, it could be because their own icky voice in their own head is telling them that they need to move forward in a relationship with someone who might be toxic. And they're also probably stressed that the truthful, honest people in the world could be moving forward. They could be communicating, for other people to connect in with love and move forward, and maybe that causes them a lot of stress. But if they have an icky voice in their head that's basically communicating to them and causing them a lot of stress, what is the King of Swords communicating? Well, I guess if it's their shadowy King of Swords, like in their own head, that their shadowy nature keeps telling them, we'll be happy if we keep staying defensive to taking creative inspired action in our life. Because if we take creative inspired action, we could get hurt. And we don't want to do that. So let's keep being defensive to taking creative inspired action in our life, because basically our mind was made to protect us. And we know it's not like we probably live in a jungle anymore where we've got wild animals and warring villages around us. It's kind of like the biggest fear human beings can have now is being emotionally hurt. And some people let their mind and their fears and their insecurity and their emotional defensiveness and their pride and ego basically run their life. And it stops them from taking creative inspired action in their own life, to stay defensive of doing that. Let's keep listening more to our mind than our heart. We'll be happy. But it's kind of like the devil whispering in your ear, saying, you don't have to do that. Just come over here. Come indulge in this. Focus on these things. I'll make all your dreams come true. And it's a lie. Somebody who's really stressed out right now could have someone from their past who is offering them these things of the world. But this person from their past is someone who ignores love, and they know this. And this person wants to have a new beginning with them, maybe because this person feels left out in the cold. And this person is stressed about getting in a relationship with that person because they know that person is just trying to get them to align and tempt them to align with their more prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, immature, indulgent nature. And some people are really battling within themselves, I am really tempted by these things, but I don't know that I want to get in a relationship with that person because I know that person is trying to emotionally confuse me by tempting me. So basically, until this person puts in the work and effort to work on their own foundation and get stable and grounded within themselves, and then start putting in the work and effort to free themselves from being tempted by people like that in their life, and stop being tempted by their own shadowy nature and their mind that tries to keep them in fear and insecurity and emotional defensiveness, some people could be tempted by someone right now and they're really stressed out about it. And it causes them a lot of stress because they kind of do want to be in a relationship where it is about indulging themselves and having money and materialism and status and image. But let's ask. For the people who are really struggling right now in their Gemini energy about what to align with, do I align with love and hope and faith and belief? Or do I align with the other people in the world who want me to align with them, who are tempting me to, and maybe even trying to instill fear and insecurity in me that if I keep moving forward and away from them, that I might not have the relationship or the stability or the security that I want in my life. The Moon card, Three of Pentacles, the Fool card, because of the Ten of Pentacles. Well, for the people who are really struggling right now, for some, they might, the moon, well, let's see, the Moon card, that can be about not seeing things clearly, that there's things that you're not seeing clearly. Maybe about a Capricorn who wants you to take a risk to get in a relationship with them, who does have a lot of money and stability. Or an Aries who wants to work together with you, saying that we'll have money and security. But again, if someone's in shadowy Aries energy, they are driven by their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their anger, their pettiness, their envy, their jealousy. If they're in shadowy Aries energy, and they want people to work together with them, and they could be trying to instill fear or insecurity in people to get them to work together with them. Trying to emotionally confuse people about the truth. so that they will work together with them. And this person really needs to try to listen to their intuition about the foundation of the people who want to work together with them. What are people hiding who are trying to tempt someone to get in a relationship with them for toxic, selfish, greedy reasons? Hangman, Six of Pentacles. Well, for one reason, people could want this person to get in a relationship with them because they feel stuck and, like, I'm not moving forward. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know who I could move forward with. I don't want to do the work and effort within myself. So I want someone to exchange resources with me. Money or hugs and kisses or whatever it is. Whatever resources they want this person to exchange with them. If there's someone who is unwilling to see themselves and life from any other perspective and move forward in their own life, well, then there's someone who might also operate from their pride and ego, and they want someone who will exchange resources with them being someone who doesn't see things from other people's perspective, who is prideful and egotistical. And it's like, I want someone to exchange resources with me, and I'm looking for someone to exchange resources with me. And maybe some other people detach from me because I am prideful and egotistical and stubborn and maybe emotionally cold and detached, and maybe I'm toxic and selfish and jealous and envious or whatever other toxic habits I got. And I'm unwilling to become enlightened about myself and see myself and the world from any other perspective or from anyone else's perspective. And I want someone to exchange resources with me. And that's why this person could be stressed, because they know this person is maybe like that, but they're tempted by it. So I guess what we got right now is, are people willing to stand up for themselves and learn the lesson they were meant to learn? And if they are, though someone might be offering them a love offer, they might ignore that to have a new beginning of their own and believe in themselves. And those people would move away from those people, and they'd start giving a lot of thought to what it means in their philosophy of life to be a King of Pentacles, and start putting in the work and effort to work on their own foundation and be someone who trusts and believes in themselves. And the people who don't, well, for one, like I said, some of them might make an offer to you, high vibe people. And if you know this person from your past, you might illuminate that previously this person left you out in the cold because you know they are someone who's really stressed about money and materialism and status and image, and they took a foolish risk, and you are going to keep moving forward yourself. And for others of you, this person has decided, I am going to ignore love. I'm going to make an offer to someone out of my pride and ego. Maybe someone else who also feels left out in the cold right now. And I might put a lot of thought into trying to get this person to get in a relationship with me because I want to indulge myself in the relationship, or for image or status or money or materialistic reasons. So I guess we'll see what some different people are going to be doing in the world here shortly. So there you go, Aries energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.